Initiative. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another lesson with Economic Equity Initiative. Today's lesson will be focusing on market structures in economics, and we'll be talking about some real-world examples as well on how they all function in society. So, starting off with an introduction to market structures. Market structure refers to how industries are organized based on the number of firms, level of competition, and market power. There are four primary types: perfect competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and monopoly. Each affects pricing, efficiency, and consumer choice differently. So, starting off with perfect competition, these are many small firms, none with market control. Homogeneous products, identical goods, no barriers to entry and exit. Firms can freely enter or leave the market. And they're price takers. Firms accept the market price, and there's no single firm that can influence it. So an example is agriculture markets, so wheat and corn. Anywhere you get wheat from, it's wheat. Anywhere you get corn from, it is still going to be corn. Now, perfect competition is a bit tricky because this is very rare to see exactly identical goods. Even if you're buying like clothing or something similar, they'll still have some sort of differentiation, which we'll get into later. Next up, you have monopolistic competition. So this is a more realistic version of perfect competition. So there are many firms, but products are differentiated. So kind of like as I was mentioning earlier, you won't find two types of jeans. Maybe one has a different style, one has a different brand, and this is due to branding, quality, and features. They have some price control due to product uniqueness. While one trendy style may be more expensive, the other one may cost less because it's not as trendy. So therefore, there is a uniqueness. There are low barriers to entry, similar to perfect competition, and firms can enter the market easily. An example is restaurants, clothing brands, and consumer goods. Next up, we've got oligopoly. So here you have a few large firms, and they dominate the market. Products may be homogeneous, so like steel and oil, or even differentiated, so cars, airlines. And there are high barriers to entry due to economies of scale, patents, and government regulations. For example, while someone could easily, start selling maybe lemonade or a food item, it's very hard to start selling airplanes. This has high barriers to entry. You need documentation, you need the materials, you need an entire factory to make an airplane. Next up, part of oligopoly, we still have independent pricing. So firms react to competitors' price changes, price wars, collusion. So there's some power here, but not fully pricing power. And an example is tech giants, so Apple, Microsoft, or an automotive industry, Ford, Toyota. And Apple and Microsoft, they're very powerful in the industry, but they're still competitors, meaning there's not a full monopoly yet. So going off of that, we'll now introduce monopoly. This is a single firm that controls the market, so there's no close substitutes for the product. There are high barriers to entry, often due to legal protections, so patents, resource ownership, or economies of scale. And they're price makers, so firms set the price without competition. So an example is utility companies, electricity, water in some regions. If there's a water shortage, there's usually one source of water, which is the monopoly in that area. They're going to be charging high prices. They'll be trying to make profit off of the fact that they're the only sellers. So in this case, monopolies can sometimes become unethical because of their power and pricing decisions since they're the only seller, but there are often sometimes natural monopolies where it's efficient for one person to sell. For example, electricity, because it won't be as efficient for multiple people in one given area to, give electricity. But we'll go deeper into that later. So when it comes to some real-world applications, there are antitrust laws. Governments regulate monopolies to prevent price gouging and protect consumers. So price gouging is basically similar to that illegal thing where if you set too high of a price because you know that you're the only seller. So this is completely illegal. And then there's tech industry oligopolies. Google, Amazon, and Meta shape digital markets with limited competition. And with the real-world impact on consumers, so there's more competition, which leads to lower prices and better quality, while monopolies can reduce innovation and raise prices. So because in monopolies you're the only seller, they have no incentive to, make their product better, versus if there is competition, there's an incentive to keep enhancing your product. So now go ahead and try the worksheet problems, and till next time.